Hey, good morning, Chili with Chili's Cruises here, coming live this morning for an unscheduled day, and there's a couple reasons because of it. Actually have two little stories to mention this morning, but the main reason I'm going live today is I found out yesterday one of you folks out there that have one of the two people that watch. I'm teasing. Said that they've been trying to send chat messages and that I'm not seeing them. So I've gone through all the settings and all that business, trying to redo the settings. And one that says to use is on the screen optimization. And for some reason, I can't change it to what it's supposed to be. So I'm not sure if chat messages are actually on and working or not. So if somebody it just pops in on this, by mistake, leave a chat message for me so I can see if it pops up. I put a chat message in this morning before I started. I can see mine, so I don't know if anybody else is trying to put one in or not. If you do try and leave one and I don't respond to it, when this becomes a video on YouTube, if you go back in on that chat, on that comments, I do get those. So that way I'll know that I'm still failing miserably on the chats. Okay. Two stories to cover this morning. One of them I think is... well, one of them's awful, and one of them I find humorous, I guess, in a way. More than 200 flights to and from airports in London were canceled yesterday on one of the busiest flying days of the year. Two problems were mainly responsible: the extreme weather that they've been having in the UK and all over Europe, but primarily in the UK. And a system failure of NATS, the air traffic control provider, which handles the radar displays for Heathrow and Gatwick. And that failed for several hours, and that just threw everything off. By 3 p.m. yesterday, that's England time, British Isles time, over there on the other side of the pond, my friends in the UK, their time. By 3 p.m., the issue was fixed and they were starting to increase the traffic flow again. But in the meantime, they had more than 200 flights canceled because that just threw a total disaster. British Airways passengers were worst hit with more than 120 cancellations, mostly domestic and short-term European flights, with travelers to Berlin enduring 5 canceled round trips, and Edinburgh's passengers suffering 4, plus another from Gatwick. 6 British Airways round trips to Munich and Rome were grounded. Key holiday destinations were among cancellations, including flights to Athens, Ibiza, and Malaga, Spain. Malaga, Spain. 2 British Airways transatlantic flights to Boston and San Francisco were also grounded, and a total more than 20,000 passengers had flights canceled yesterday. They're, of course, entitled to rebook on the next available flight on British Airways or one of its partner or rival airlines. But there's very little slack in the system this weekend because it's one of the busiest weekends of the year for UK flying. Also at Heathrow, KLM grounded 2 return trips from Amsterdam. Aer Lingus, Alitalia, Australian Airlines, and LOT Polish Airlines all canceled flights from their hubs. At Gatwick, EasyJet canceled 40 flights. Links to Amsterdam were hardest hit with 3 round trips grounded. So a big mess in the airports in the British Isles, the two main airports in England. And keep in mind, folks, that there's a pilot strike looming in the next couple days, which could make things worse. When I first saw this story, and I didn't actually read the details on it, I thought, oh, they started the strike. Well, the strike wasn't supposed to start until the first week of August. And I have not heard anything that's been settled. So they're still supposed to get a strike here in the next week or so, which, could really screw up things even more. So a bad day for flying yesterday in the British Isles. The other story, which I mean, it's pretty bad, but I found it funny. Of course, I've got a perverted sense of humor. A brawl broke out on a P&O cruise ship, the Britannia. 6 people were hurt as the Britannia sailed to Southampton after a week-long trip to the fjords. A man, 43, and a 41-year-old woman have been arrested on suspicion of assault. Now, the people suspected for being behind the violence were confined to a cabin for at least a day of the cruise, according to another passenger. The violence occurred after a black tie evening and afternoon of patriotic partying on the deck when large amounts of alcohol were consumed. Now, can you imagine that on a cruise ship? Large amounts of alcohol consumed? I would have been right in the middle of that. A witness to the incident said a passenger took offense at another holidaymaker who was dressed as a clown. Huh? However, P&O denied that there was someone dressed as a clown. So, boy, that's definitely a mixture of information. A police spokeswoman said the incident took place during the early hours on Friday, the 26th of July, on board the Britannia while it was en route to Southampton from Bergeen. She said 3 men and 3 women were assaulted with their injuries, including significant bruising and cuts. And the man and woman arrested are both from Chigwell, Essex, and are in police custody. So a brawl on a cruise ship. I've taken a bunch of cruises. What about that? 18 now. I've never had a brawl on a cruise ship. So, but I guess that's just me. So, the new experience, folks. All right, now I'm looking over here in the chat thing, and there's no chats here for anybody except me. So, I don't know. I'll keep working on this and see if I don't have something awry and find out why I can't change that one setting. So anyway, this was just a little brief live broadcast to bring you those 2 stories, which they're already out there. So this is nothing new and earth-shattering by any stretch of the imagination. But I also wanted to go live to try this chat thing again, as I don't seem to, something's wrong. Maybe I'll call my friend Bruce and see if he can help me with this. But anyway, that's it for today. This is Chili with Chili's Cruises. We regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, my interview show, which are called Chili Chats, and of course my regular live broadcasts for travel and cruise industry news, which are on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can feel free to join us anytime then. And if you want to keep up with any of that, hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. You can use the bell notification system so you'll be notified as soon as I go live or when I post a new video, which is fairly regular because I also do, this with a story like this, if it was a earth-shattering news, I would get that up as a video quickly as opposed to going live. But again, I wanted to check out this chat thing, and there's still no chat comments showing on my thingy. So anyway, so that's about it for today. If always, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't care. Yeah, I care. I want a thumbs up. But if you give me a thumbs down, that's okay too. But at least you're telling YouTube that you're watching, and they know. And maybe one of these days they'll approve me for their stupid ad system, which they keep denying me, which is ridiculous because I've got all the numbers I need. But anyway, that's YouTube. So that's it for today. I'll see you on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time with travel and cruise industry news. And in the meantime, via videos if anything else happens. So that's it for this morning. This is Chili, the Fat Travel Guy. Hey, later, y'all.